case clean, I won't shroud it in no love. Getting laced at the seams, turning powder into dust. I need space for my team, it's getting crowded in the club. Now I walk with a goddess, she a full course meal while I...
What's up, guys? It is Wednesday, November 23rd. It's 12:40 p.m. and this is the Crypto Deep Dive. Following up on the disorderly Great Reset scenarios, the elites are giving us their roadmap. So this is the deep dive from November 18th, like 5 days ago. So we're going to continue off from where we left at that point. We're reading the tail end of the White House report. We're at 29. So let's go into it. All right, here we go. We're getting into the good stuff. I like have an eye for the word cross-border payments at this point. But before I start, I want you guys to know, Black Friday special deal. 3 days left, limited time. If you are in the crypto market, any crypto that you hold doesn't have to just be XRP. You got to get access to these automated signals. I mean, like they've been calling it to a T. We have about like 88 different cryptos set up for automated buy and sell alerts based off the Stargate indicators. And they're just calling it. And then we added some new ones. So the 10-year yield bonds just flashed some crazy signals this morning. 1 week sell now, 2 week sell now. US dollar flashed a 3 week sell now this morning. Guys, you gotta get in the Discord and get access to these crypto automated signals. Like the dollar downtrend has started. All right. And I believe that we may have just had a fake out breakdown where we just bottomed. And we're about to shoot up hard based off of a narrative or a news or like some catalyst to magically appear. I strongly believe this. I will keep you guys updated in the Discord if my theory changes. But Black Friday sale, take advantage of it. We literally marked it down so much to get access to these automated crypto signals. If you're already in the Discord and you're not right now a paying member, on Friday, when Black Friday is over, you will not receive all these signals anymore. There'll only be a few. You only get access to like a few, like the top ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. But you will not have full access to all these crypto automated signals and these stocks and other signals, as well as the key thing here. I mean, we have the day trades, but the cherry on top is the peer-to-peer signals. I mean, like these things, this is the RACC strategy, RACCS, the rapid accumulation of coin strategy. Basically what it's insinuating to me is we're going to convert some XRP into Songbird pretty soon, because Songbird, we're seeing an XRP against Songbird 1 week, prepare to sell soon. That's a huge signal, a high time frame signal. So I'm going to be watching XRP and Songbird, getting ready to position myself to profit, because Songbird, once it goes, it's probably going to pull a double. Meanwhile, XRP might pull a 20% up, 30% up. Then we can take that money from Songbird, dump it back in XRP, get double the amount of XRP. So take advantage of the Black Friday special deal. I will never price it this low again. It's 3 days left. We have today, tomorrow, and the next day. If you want to get access to the automated crypto buy and sell alerts, I mean, like we could look at Bitcoin right now, flashing some huge buy now signals. Everybody thinks the market's going to crash. Everybody thinks the market is going to crash. I tend to doubt that, because we're seeing these signals flash. So if you want to get ahead of the game, you want to get these signals, then link in the bio, click the first link. It's going to bring you to the Discord memberships page. You have right there, front and center, Black Friday special deal. Sign up for it before it's too late. We're only accepting 100 people. 80 people have already signed up. There are 20 spots left. And then as soon as those 20 spots filled, I'm just closing it down. And that might be before Friday. So do not hesitate. Get yourself in there and get access to these tools here. Nobody else is doing this in the crypto space. I haven't come across anybody doing it. We're trying to position our community, our group, ahead of the game, ahead of the pack, giving them access to the best analytics signals. I don't see anybody else doing this. So if you haven't already, link in the bio, come join the Discord, get yourself on the Black Friday special before it's gone, and get yourself in here. And if not, if you don't want access to the automated signals, still come in and join the Discord. You don't need to get a membership, but you'll only have limited access to the Discord, maybe just a few channels here. But we still love to see you. Come join, say what up. I will say what up too. So now let's dive into it, because we got some keys right here. This is the, for a reminder, the White House G20 Bali Leaders Declaration. This was November 15th, about like 8-9 days ago. And if we go all the way down here, we've already covered most of it in the last video. If you don't remember, it is right here. Disorderly Great Reset scenarios. The elites are giving us a roadmap. Did it about 4 days ago. If we keep moving on, though, we can see some verbiage that we love to see, which is cross-border payments. So let's dive into it. All right, so right here it says, we support continued implementation of the G20 roadmap for enhancing cross-border payments, including the future delivery of the initial estimates for key performance indicators and 2022 progress report that sets out priorities for the next stage of work. We encourage central banks, other public authorities in the payments industry to continue to work collaboratively on these important initiatives to enhance cross-border payments. We welcome the report by the Bank for International Settlements Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure on interlinking payment systems and the role of application programming interfaces APIs that was presented in a joint workshop by the Indonesian G20 presidency in coordination with the BIS CPMI and the BIS Innovation Hub on cross-border payments and interoperability at the Festival Economy Digital in Indonesia 2022. We also welcome the joint report by the BIS CPMI, BIS IH, IMF, the World Bank on options for access to and interoperability of central bank digital currencies for cross-border payments. It seems to me that the US is handing over the reins to these international organizations here. Yeah, it totally seems like that. We know who to watch. I mean, like right at the top of the money pyramid, you got the central banks, the World Bank, the IMF, the BIS, and they're working on this joint kind of platform, this interoperability of central bank digital currencies for cross-border payments, the interlinking of on interlinking payment systems, right? So first off, I want to kind of just keep that right there, and I want to go into the holy grail of cross-border payments. And if you haven't seen that video yet, the holy grail, the elites call it, confirmation that XRP is an opportunity of 1,000 lifetimes. So true. You guys got to watch this video. I did it 8 days ago. I can't believe it's only been 8 days ago, but it's unreal what was uncovered in this document, but we're going to dive into it because we're going to do a follow-up Holy Grail too. So you definitely want to watch that in preparation for this. But if I just go and I drag this over and let's kind of take that keyword here. All right, ready? So we see it. Interlinked instant payment systems with foreign exchange conversion layer, right? Down here, the creation of bilateral or multilateral arrangements through interlinking payment systems and integrating an instant foreign exchange conversion layer would in principle allow for cross-currency, cross-border payments to be completed in central bank money. A number of preconditions, however, need to be fulfilled for this. And then it goes into it. So interlinked domestic systems and instantaneous and cost-efficient currency conversion layer. All right, now we're talking. So let's see what this is all about. This layer would effectively decompose the pseudo cross-border payment into two domestic instant payments. Market makers would consist of banking groups having accounts and instant payment systems on both sides in the two relevant domestic instant payment systems. The cross-border payment would therefore be simulated by the banking group providing the foreign exchange conversion service, as one member of this group would simultaneously receive a payment in currency A by the payer located in country A within the country A domestic instant payment system. The other member of the banking group, namely the one in B country, would make in currency B a domestic instant payment to the payee within the domestic instant payment system of country B. To ensure that the currency conversion layer maintains an instant processing of the cross-border payment, market makers would have to accept an obligation to provide immediately executable binding quotes for cross-currency payments up to the agreed maximum value. The automated process would always immediately choose the most attractive conversion rate amongst the provided binding bid-ask quotes. The setup should incentivize a sufficient number of banks to commit to be foreign exchange market makers in the conversion layer, such as to ensure competitive price setting, depth, and liquidity. This will be, of course, This will, of course, be simpler for large foreign exchange cross-border payment corridors. Very, very similar. This whole solution here is basically what Ripple has worked on for years on years and years and mastered. And it's right there. It's right in front of our faces. You can see the settlement mechanics. It's going in more into depth about it. So we're going to cover the rest of this document at large with a Holy Grail part 2 video. So if you haven't already, definitely subscribe so you can stay up to date for that. That video is going to be fire. So let's keep going, because we see the interlinking payment systems. And if we even just kind of give you a teaser here and we go all the way down, the Holy Grail, whereby cross-border payments can be 1, immediate, 2, cheap, 3, universal in terms of reach, and 4, be settled in a secure settlement medium such as central bank money, is in reach for the first time. This is thanks to the rapid decline in the cost of global electronic data transmission and computer processing, new payment system technology allowing for instant payments, innovative concepts such as the interlinking of payment systems, including a currency conversion layer, CBDC, and unprecedented political will and global collaboration like the G20 work on enhancing cross-border payments. See, they're all talking about the same thing. They're all in cahoots here. They know it's about to go down, and we do too, that's for sure. The review of various visions as to how to achieve the Holy Grail suggests that Bitcoin is least credible Bitcoin. Stablecoins, traditional correspondent banking, and cross-border fintechs take an intermediary place, so it's not really the Holy Grail, but may all contribute to improvement over the next years. From a public policy perspective, stablecoins appear somewhat more problematic than the other two options as they aim at deep closed-loop solutions, market power, and fragmentation. Two solutions: the interlinking of domestic instant payment systems and future central bank digital currencies, both with a competitive foreign exchange conversion layer, may have the highest potential to deliver the Holy Grail for large cross-border payment corridors as they combine technical feasibility, relative simplicity in their architecture, and 3, maintaining a competitive and open architecture by avoiding the dominance of a small number of market participants who would eventually exploit their market power. Moreover, monetary sovereignty is preserved and the crowding out of local currencies is avoided due to the foreign exchange conversion layer at the border, which does not hold for Bitcoin and global stablecoins. Interlinking of domestic payment systems would also perform well in terms of preserving the universal reach of correspondent banking, although of course only for the payment areas that are actually interlinked. However, a number of challenges need to be addressed to set up these solutions, right? So it's looking like the Holy Grail is exactly what Ripple built, right? They're the interledger interlinking domestic instant payment systems with a foreign exchange conversion layer, cross-currency layer, which is XRP, baby. So it's shaping up. We're shaping up here, and we see that we endorse the G20 Financial Inclusion Framework on harnessing digitalization to increase productivity and foster a sustainable and inclusive economy for women, youth, and MSMEs. Let's keep going. Then it goes into here, we will continue to enhance macro policy cooperation, preserve financial stability and long-term fiscal sustainability, and safeguard against downside risks and negative spillovers. Macroprudential policies need to remain vigilant to guard against rising systemic risks as financial conditions tighten. Recognizing that many currencies have moved significantly this year with increased volatility, we reaffirm the commitments made on exchange rates by our finance ministers and central bank governors in April 2021. We also reiterate the importance of global cooperation and express our appreciation to the Indonesian G20 presidency for its efforts to maintain an effective system of multilateralism through the G20. We are committed to the swift implementation of the OECD G20 two-pillar international tax package. That deserves a deep dive. We welcome the progress on Pillar 1, and then it goes into it. There's a framework, but then it goes into, we support the progress made on implementing internationally agreed tax transparency standards, including regional efforts, and welcome the signing of the Asia Initiative Bali Declaration in July 2022. We also welcome the Crypto Asset Reporting Framework and the amendments to the Common Reporting Standard, both of which we consider to be integral additions to the global standards for automatic exchange of information. All in here, man. Then we go down, and we support taking forward the implementation of the FSB updated roadmap for addressing climate-related financial risks, which complements the G20 Sustainable Finance Roadmap. Globally consistent data are needed in order to effectively address climate-related financial risks. We look forward to the finalization of standards by the International Sustainability Standards Board in support of globally consistent, comparable, reliable climate-related financial disclosures and its work beyond climate, and we welcome the efforts to achieve interoperability across disclosure frameworks. We welcome the report by the FSB and the Network for Greening the Financial System on climate scenario analysis by jurisdictions. That's what we've been covering here. This is what we covered in the last video, the scenario frameworks, right? They're on board with it. And I just was thinking, there's all this talk about Gary Gensler, December policy action on infrastructure and ESG. This is May, but I came across something that said that there's a potential that Gary Gensler is going to announce in December out of nowhere some ESG thing, right? And that's what we're kind of looking into right now. So let's look at, I think it was on Twitter. All right, here we go. So SEC reporting rules are year's biggest climate finance hurdle. This was today at 4 a.m. Upcoming SEC climate disclosure rules will likely present a major challenge to public companies, according to climate watcher David Calloway. President Biden's recently released rules for federal contractors signal how the SEC rules might look. Now that COP27 in Egypt is over and the U.S. midterm elections yielded a divided Congress, the next major event in the climate finance world will be the Securities and Exchange Commission's new rules on climate reporting for public companies. One clue as to what the rules will look like may have just come from the Biden admin. And if we go down here, it's saying tweaking may be understanding it. At the heart of the debate is controversy over inclusion of specific data about greenhouse gas emissions from a company's supply chains. So then we go down here. Combined, the two efforts show Biden is all in on fighting climate change, even without a Democratic Congress. Biden's Scope 3 announcement could deflect expected heat on Gensler and the SEC and give them cover to also impose a limited requirement, which would target just the largest companies and reduce complaints about excessive financial and data reporting by smaller, less equipped companies. So they're planning this whole thing about implementing these ESG climate-related risks when it comes to valuing public companies. Gensler and his commissioners face a delicate balance between wanting to set new rules with enough teeth to satisfy investors' concerns about climate risks against the possibility that the entire new plan could be overturned in court. Such a move would set global climate reporting standards back years. That is why we're looking at these climate scenarios, because based off of all this stuff, if there's a negative there's a backlash to this, right? That what they're trying to implement, maybe it's the delayed transition, right? That's why we're looking at the current events. We're looking at these scenarios, and now we're able to get a gauge as the timeline goes and kind of what key things need to fall in line for these things to be implemented. All I know is that there's an obvious push to go green finance, sustainable finance, climate-related risks. We can even go to a couple other things like the Genesis 2.0 by the BIS, smart contract-based carbon credits attached to green bonds. This is report showing Project Genesis 2.0 led by BIS Innovation Hub in collaboration with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and UN Climate Change Global Innovation Hub. And in it, they're making bonds green basically. And then you can see here that just today from the ECB, how are we decarbonizing our corporate bond holdings? That was actually back in October 1st. The climate crisis is one of the biggest challenges of our time. It poses severe risk for the economy and it affects price stability, our core mandate as a central bank. This is why we are committed to doing our part in the fight against climate change within our mandate. And it's talking about all this stuff they're going to do. Which corporate bonds did we buy in the past? So how do our corporate bond holdings expose us to climate risks? And they go into the physical risk and then transition risk. So this is what we covered. Companies can also suffer what we often refer to as transition risk, the risks emerging from the transition towards a greener economy. Consumers may want to start buying alternative products or goods and services, could become more expensive expensive as governments impose carbon taxes. At some point, legislators must also ban certain carbon-intensive products. And who's here to save the day? We have Zange.com or Xange, whatever it is, will develop a carbon credit solution on the XRP ledger. A sustainably run securities exchange operating in partnership with the United Nations announced today that it will develop a carbon credit solution on the carbon neutral XRPL. As you can see, the White House is letting the reins go to these international conglomerates, the BIS, the World Bank, the IMF, and the United Nations. And we see our beloved golden gem here, XRP, being the chosen child to build this carbon neutral credit solution or carbon credit solution on XRPL. I mean, like, we are holding I believe, the new world currency, the supranational currency, and there's just so many things that are showing us that's the case. So I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, that about sums it up, right? Yeah, that about sums it up. So if you haven't already, link in the bio of this video. You got to join the Discord, get access to these crypto automated signals, and put yourself ahead of the game. Black Friday special, we're doing it. Only 3 days left. 20 spots are left out of 100. So take action now. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, still join the Discord. Send me a friend request, Rob at Stargate, and just, say what your concerns are or clarifications that you need, and we will work something out for you. All right. So for my US friends, have a happy Thanksgiving. And for everybody else, I will see you in the next video.